Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister and asks, is he satisfied that the Honourable Christopher Finlayson has shown sufficient attention to detail to retain his confidence as Attorney-General? If so, why?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes, because he's proving himself to be an outstanding Attorney-General.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Has Mr Finlayson informed him or his office of any matter other than that related to Te Puhu Trustee 2 Limited that should have been declared by way of pecuniary interest register by Mr Finlayson and has not been?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I have no recollection of those. No.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, has Mr Finlayson told him that other than the matters which came to light last week, he has made other false declarations?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, well, the member's making an assumption that normally if the track record of the member is examined, he's normally wrong.
Supplement. Point of order, Mr
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker. Point of order, Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard, point of order.
Mr Speaker, it was a very carefully worded question, and it went.
Order.
Well,
order. No, the member won't react. I'll hear the
Mr.
point
Speaker,
of order too.
I think there is no debate. It's been brought to your attention that Mr Finlayson has made false declarations, and he has accepted that. Asking whether he's made another one or not, whether another one's been brought to the Prime Minister's attention, I think deserves a proper answer.
Well, the Prime Minister has no responsibility for members' register of pecuniary interests. However, if a member has told the Prime Minister that he may have made an error or whatever in that register, that's a matter that whether that, I guess the Prime Minister has a responsibility for his ministers. So if the Prime Minister has been told by the member that there are any other errors, then I guess the Prime Minister should answer the question, because it was pretty specific, whether any other errors, whether the Attorney-General has told the Prime Minister of any other errors.
Speaker, no, the Attorney-General hasn't. I am aware that there was an error on behalf of his lawyer, Mr Finlayson's lawyer, in relation to an address at one stage with the Company's Office, but Mr Finlayson and I haven't discussed that.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Would Mr Finlayson continue to enjoy his confidence as Attorney-General if a further false declaration came to light?
Order. I think that is an unreasonable speculatory question, and I don't think it's reasonable to imply in asking a question that a member may behave improperly. I don't think that's reasonable. I'll give the member a chance to reword the question.
Mr Speaker, if a member in this House tabled a document which showed that Mr Finlayson made a further false declaration, would he continue to have confidence in him? Mr Speaker, point of order.
No.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. Point of order, Mr Speaker.
I'm not sure what the point of order is. The member's just asked a question, is now raising a point of order.
Yes.
I'll hear him briefly, but I'll want to know very quickly what the point of order is.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table a Company's Office record which shows that Mr Finlayson made another false declaration.
Well, order. That a member must not allege that in seeking leave to table the document. The member must describe the document and no more. I'll give the member a further chance to simply tell the House what the document is. It's a Company's Office.
It's a Company's Office record for Diana Bremner Trust Nominees Limited.
Order. Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection.
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker.
Well, the member just asked a supplementary question. I'll hear.
Well, I haven't finished yet. I was interrupted.
The Honourable Rodney Hyde, point of order.
Well, the member actually interrupted himself with his...
Order.
There's a personality problem.
Order. Order. It may have escaped Minister's attention, but silence does mean silence when I'm on my feet. And the member was doing perfectly well until that point. the Honourable Rodney Hyde knows that that is no way to conduct a point of order. The first point he made was not unreasonable, though. The Honourable Trevor Mallard did interrupt himself. He'd asked a question, but the problem with the question he asked was it was still implying that a minister may have done something improper, and members know that's outside standing orders to imply that in a question being asked. And I gave the member an opportunity to reword the question, and I must now move on. Supplementary question, David Garrett.
To the Prime Minister, what confidence does he have in the Attorney-General's attention to detail, given that he told Parliament on 16 June, quote, "I believe that we are talking about," I'll start again, sir, quote, "I believe that we are not talking about very much at all," close quote, but then said in a television interview 4 days later, quote, "In the round, I think, based on the sort of information I have, based on my talking around the place, I'd say 10% of the foreshore and seabed." And does the Prime Minister agree that 2,000 kilometres of coastline is, quote, "not very much at all"?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes, I have enormous confidence in the Attorney-General. What he's proving is that, and Minister of Treaty Negotiations, he's proving that he can resolve issues that the previous government completely failed. What level of the coastline goes into the foreshore and seabed and customary title is purely speculative, and truth is, none of us know.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
To the Prime Minister, is he relaxed about having someone as Attorney-General which requires precise legal declarations, who has already admitted making 4 false declarations?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I'm very confident in the Attorney-General. Secondly, there is, if one looks at the situation where the proposed or the alleged false declarations were made at the point at which it was raised, the error was raised, Mr Finlayson immediately took that matter up with the registrar and subsequently has been advised to change his listing there. I might add the point, though, Mr Speaker, that is not uncommon. Members from all parties do that from time to time, including Marion Street, and plenty of members do it.
Question number 11, point of order.